we can jump right to the Markstrom thing.
Yeah.
That's fresh in most people's mind. Again, another tough one to get done because he's your MVP more or less. Months in the making, but yet came together quick. I guess, how did this come together? How close was this to the rumored deal that was kicking around at the deadline?
I think the one thing, I never went to Markstrom and said, will you sign off on a trade? There was never a trade done, and that's where people there are rumors out there, but there was never a deal where I went to him and said, okay, will you sign off on it? It didn't get to that point. So, it got to that point a couple of days ago, and that's when I did it. But it's hard because we're in a Canadian market. Everything seems like it's out there. Whether I will say, like, when I hear a lot of the trades that are out there, I would definitely do those trades. Like, once I hear them in my mind, I'm like,
this guy in a first, and that guy two, and then another pick.
I would love to do that. But when you talk to the teams, and just like anything, you go to all the teams at the end of the year and, hey, what are you looking for? What are you looking to do on the draft? Are you willing to move it all up or down? And, you're kind of get a lay of the land, what might be coming. Are you looking for anything on your team? So I kind of knew which teams were had interest in goalies, and you work through there and you try to figure out, okay, what's the best deal? What's the right time? And I do think there's more goalies on the market now than there was at the trade deadline. And as we were moving through, especially with New Jersey, they called and said, hey, we need to go one way or the other, Craig. Like, we like your goalie. We'd like to do a deal. Course. But again, we have to do it sooner than later. So, and then that's when it really picked up, and then we came to an agreement, and then I said, okay, now I got to get a hold of Pat Morris, and then to get a hold of Markey to get signed off on.
Would it be fair to say that they were the only serious bidder? Like, there's obviously teams that have needs, but did you get as far down the line or even close with any other clubs?
It felt like it was moving in a direction with all the teams where there were similar offers. They were similar type deals. Mm-hmm. There wasn't, much difference in kind of where we were generally laid out on each one. And we just felt like this is one that, with Kevin, he's a player that we really liked. Like, and I get where people would say, geez, what do they like about him? He's a big man that can play well defensively. And he's gotten better each year.
You had to play a ton last year with their injuries, right?
Yeah. And you got to see where Zadorov was when he was at 23 and where he was, and we do all the analytics, and, you look at guys around the league that if you were, you're hoping he gets to at one point that the analytics numbers and what our scouts say about him would be like a Chernak in Tampa, a guy like Samuelson in Buffalo, or a guy like Nick Hague. And those are similar type players. Mm-hmm. You try to compare players who would be, you're hoping where he's going to be at some point. That's kind of, the player he is, but those are very important players in each of those teams. And that's why, not everyone's going to get all the points but to kill the penalties, to use his size. And, we've heard great thing character-wise, the type of person he is, talking to coaches, talking to people in Ottawa when he was there, what he's all about, and his work ethic, so that's exciting.
Yeah. So it's safe to say he's a guy that will start this year in the NHL. He's played 82 last year with the Devils. You don't want to put a ceiling on a guy or limit him, but do you feel like it's a natural for him to become a top 4 defenseman, or is everything going to have to hit for him to sort of get to a second pair guy?
Yeah, I think the progression of where he was, coming in, playing pro, he's gone in the right direction. The one thing I like to hear when his work ethic, where he was physically, how he trains now, how his diet is, you talk to people that know him like that, and he's really learning how to do all that. And it takes time, not everybody's at the same pace, but I think, when he's at his best, he's a simple puck mover. He plays hard. He's not a fighter. Like, I don't expect that. That's really not in there, but he'll stick up for teammates. He'll be there for everybody. And penalty
That's not really in the game now anyway, right?
No.
We talk about
he's a specialist, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Be big, be physical, move well. That's what today's game is.
But if Pospisil does what Pospisil, you just want guys to get in there and help each other. And that's and he will do that, and he will play hard, and he's hard to beat, good one-on-one, good size, good stick. So, but still growing and learning how his game translates. And that's what we always say, even with Noah Hannafin, when he came, he wasn't a finished product, because we always say 25, 26, 27 is when they really, on the defensive side, really figure it out. So, and I think you saw that with Hannafin. He had an amazing year this year.
Did.
Yeah.
You know, one person I saw that I think loves this trade is Dustin Wolf. Like he's a big fan. He thinks you did great.
Vladar's probably, he's saying the same thing.
He's got the same thing. Yeah. You never want to, it's here you go. It's on a silver platter, but it's clear it's Wolf's time. He's earned it. He's been patient. I think he's probably been a good pro. Is that fair to say? There'd been a lot of guys, this is my year. I'm going to get some NHL games. And it just maybe took a little bit longer for him, maybe in his eyes, than it would have taken, but he's still young. Is it fair to say this is his team now, or don't go quite that far?
Well, it's, for me, it's the competition.
Yeah.
Vladdy, him, somebody's got to take the job, and earn it. And it starts right in training camp, and do I think they're working that much harder? Yeah, they are excited.
Yeah.
They're thinking this is a great opportunity, and that's what people want. It's just like with Pospisil and Zari. And, I think at the opening press conference, we talked about giving young players opportunity. And, I think we had 8 young players come into and play up for the Flames this year. So, that was part of the plan going in. And now, we need someone to rise. And, do we know exactly where these guys are as NHL goalies, as starters? No, but that's part of the learning curve.
He's done his job, right?
Yeah,
at every level to this point, he's
earned the opportunity.
He's
right?
earned
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, he has, and you can't ask, goalie of the year.
Yeah.
It just.
So Vladar's health, is that a question for the start of the year? Will that have you maybe shopping in a veteran goalie market?
Well, the reason we kind of did it when we did, because he was supposed to be back ready to go for training camp. That was the goal. That's why when we kind of said, okay, we're going to shut you down, we're going to get the surgery, and then you should be back ready to go in September. Everything's on pace. You're always a little nervous. It is surgery. You do, he hasn't gotten back to on the ice, getting in all those situations. So, there might be something where we need to think about, now that it's happened and Marky's moved, is there someone else we bring in to help supplement this? Because we don't know. I wish I could say you 100% he's ready to go, but
till he's on the ice.
If I called him, he's, I'm good. Don't worry about it, Craig. Yeah. But in reality, you're hoping he's gonna be ready to go come training camp.
We've seen organizations, you need 3. Like most teams will have, okay, we lost a guy, like whether that's the Lions and Stalock, or even Calvin Pickard, what he's done in Edmonton. Like if you can find a vet that's, is a tweener of sorts, that seems to be, it used to be 70 starts for your ace, and now it's splitting, but now you almost need a third guy that can play.
Well, you really do. And with injuries, with anything that happens, you look at the teams, even Toronto you almost need to have that in your organization. So, to lose Markstrom, obviously your starter, we need to kind of supplement and figure out who's the right fit. And that's, that's what I said, I wish I was a goalie guy, but that's where Jordan Sigalet, he puts the time in, he works. And I said, what is the best for a goalie's development? You tell me, Jordan, because that's why I'm just not sure. Forwards, defense are a little bit different, but a goalie,
it's a different sport.
It is. It's hard. And I know it's such a mental thing, and you don't want to put him in a situation where it sets him back at all.
And he'll tell you, right? Because you can have we want him to play 40 games, 50, 60. His performance is going to tell you what he's ready for and what he isn't. But ultimately comes down to it.
Exactly. And that's what we always say. The players always say, well, how do I make the NHL? I remember Matthew, we were in Penticton. How did Monahan make the NHL that quickly? I said, he played so well, we couldn't send him back.
Forced his hand. Yeah, Berkey, I think it said publicly, you can't make this team he's going to have to completely change our minds.
Yeah. And then he had the 9 goals right away. And Berkey's like, he's staying. And he earned it. And that's what it is. It's really about guys earning the spot.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.ca. Appreciate you watching.